What's going on? It's the Banjos, and it's Tiger, and it's Wednesday, my new fucking favorite day of the week. Life is good. Life is good. I'm excited. Love the Genesis. Love the crowds growing. Love the live stream. I'm pumped, you motherfather. What's up, new guy? I'm the Degenerate 75. I'm a high-limit DFS player who is here to help you not suck so bad at DFS and to remind you that, like, you know, you're losing a lot just simply by stepping on your own dick all the time, and I'm going to try to help you not do that if you hang around for the next hour, okay? You should know, I'm not going to give you any picks. That's not really my thing. If you want, like, my top 5 plays, well, this ain't the place for you. You might want to click off now. And if you want me to promise you that I'll give you all the winners, it ain't going to happen, brother. This shit's tough. You got to play the game, and there's no such thing as picks if you're really playing PGA DFS. So if you like the cut of my jib, I encourage you to hang around. We're going to have a good time for the next hour. Hop in the chat. Might be doing some giveaways, which is a world-class transition. You can tell I'm becoming a pro at this shit because look at that transition. My dude J-Rex hit a couple big lineups and said, hey, I want to sponsor a giveaway. So we're doing a different type of giveaway tonight. Yes, I'm still going to do my 2 play with me lineups, the $20 at the end that we'll put in the big pitch and putt. So hang around for that. All you got to do to get in that is put a question mark in the chat. I mean, you need to ask a fucking question, bro. Let's pump the brakes. Don't just put a question mark, you donkey. And then I think what we're going to do is somewhere in the middle of the show, I'm going to have the editor draw from people that are watching this because I don't want those people to just show up 30 minutes late. And we're going to do a $100 single entry. Me and you, I'm going to pay for it all. We're going to split it. Any winnings, any profits, I will split with you 50-50, okay? So, could be awesome. All you got to do is just be alive, and be watching this stream, right? I'll probably do a couple because I really want to give that away. Sponsored by my dude J-Rex. Hashtag not poors. We are not poors around here. We can do giveaways every week because you know what? We're not poor. There you go. That's the answer. Excuse me, not poors. That's a difference. Look it up. All right, let's get going. What are we talking about? So the first thing is if you can't tell, I've got this thing above my head. It's called the fuck counter because I have a problem saying fuck, and my mom doesn't like it. So she makes me put $1 in this jar, and every week I play somebody. We will be doing that drawing at the end. If you want to play me heads up for all the money in the till, well, hang around to the end, brother, because last week this guy played me. Who was it? D. Loring. And you know what? Hey, Teddy, what do you think?
Pay that man his money.
You're right, Teddy. We should definitely pay that man his money because as you can see, he whooped my ass. I think that's 4 straight weeks I've lost. In my defense, basically what I do with that lineup is I just play every chalk donkey that I hate and I put him in there. And it's been losing. So that's a good sign that the chalk's been losing, which is good for me. All right. So he beat me, but D. Loring said, hey, I'm a badass. I'm not gonna take your money. Let's put it into a ticket and we're playing. So me and that man are making a ticket tonight. I respect the cut of your jib, D. Loring, you motherfather. So make sure to get in. Make sure you fucking ask a question so you can play me. All right. That's it. It's fun. All right, I got a new segment that I'm going to start introducing because last time I checked, it's my fucking stream and I'll do whatever I want. So if you don't know, I have built a community. I'm building a community, and it is not about me. It is about us. And so I want to start taking a little bit of time every Wednesday on my stream to just let you recognize all of the amazing people that are doing great things over on my Discord, on my website, right? These are all my motherfathers right here, okay? All of these people right here. These are just from last week. This isn't like, hey, send me anything you've ever had. This is simply from last week at the Waste Management, both week long and showdown. And as you can tell, like, we murdered it, right? You can see, like, my dude Nungs winning a cool 20 grand. Ian winning 10,000. He just calls that Friday, okay? My dude Titan killed it. My dude AD Smith, he's always killing it. Droid's killing it. Chad G, there's a million of them. Travis, Jerry, all these guys are my homies. DePeach was winning, and then just freaking Saturday morning happened. And what this is about is I want to celebrate them and give them a shout out, put them up here. Look at all these hits. And some of them are like thousands of dollars. It's incredible. But what I want you to notice is some of these are like $3 or $5 or $20 or $50. And what I want you to know is DFS doesn't always have to be about winning $1 million to have fun. It doesn't have to be about winning 10 grand or 100 grand or life-changing money. Sometimes people just want to win more than they put in, and that's exciting enough for them. If you're getting a sweat out of it, you enjoy the process. That's what PGA DFS is about. Don't fucking forget that, where so many people do. There are so few players in this world that have a big enough bankroll to sustain the ups and downs to be long-term profitable players. So when you get these sweats and when you get these hits, they should be celebrated. And if you're playing $5 a week and you hit $50, that's awesome, and it should be celebrated. And you know what? I hardly ever hit 10x my money, so I would be fucking excited too. So that is what this is. This is my badasses for my community. Literally, we couldn't even fit them all on here. There was so many of them. A lot of badasses over there. We don't price shame. You win $3 and it means a lot to you. We're going to celebrate. You hit $20,000. That means a lot to you. We're going to celebrate. No price shaming over in my world because over there I'm the dictator and I make sure no assholes allowed. All right, let's talk a little. Wait. Getting ahead of myself. New guy. Who's the new guy here? Maybe I'm the new guy. All right, here we go. I got a quick question for you, new guy. Have you made your lineups yet? You have, haven't you? Fucking new guys, man. I can't stand them. Always making their lineups. You don't make your lineups till you watch the show. We got far too much to cover here. And you've already made your lineups. Now you're committed to them, and you don't even know ownership. You don't know weather. You don't know anything. Oh, new guy. This is why you're losing, right? You're making donkey dick lineups, and you don't even realize that you've lost before the tournament even starts. Help me help you. Let's talk contest selection. It's the first thing we always start with. As you can see, I'm trying to give FanDuel some love and let you know that they got their tournaments over there. But let me just tell you, man, I think this tournament kind of sucks. Their big $9 this week, 20% to first. I thought, oh, it'll be okay. But look at that. Second place down to 10,000. You drop down to 10th place. It is 1/100th of first. Hey, Paulie, tell them. What do we tell FanDuel, Paulie?
Get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here, FanDuel. What are you doing? I'm trying to like help you. Oof, God. People are struggling tonight, and it's not just the new guy. It's also FanDuel, who is the old guy but sucks like a new guy. Let's get over to DraftKings. Let's face it. That's what 99% of us are playing. They got way better prizes, way better contest. I mean, honestly, just about everything's better over at DraftKings. Even my host. I love you, big guy. I don't actually know him personally. He could be a tiny little guy. No idea. I like to assume he's 6'5", 280 and bench presses houses. Okay. I doubt many of you are playing in the big 444 this week, and if you do, good luck to you. I would only encourage you to play in something like that if you're filthy rich or you hit a satellite. Outside of that, you shouldn't be playing in it. The big $20 this week, $1.2 million. It's nice that they bumped it up with the awesome elevated tournament, the Great Field, and of course El Tigre. But I just hate when second place is only 1/3 of first. I like it to be 1/2. So if they would just make this like 200,000 to first and they just distribute those prizes better, because imagine beating 70,000 people and getting 7th place. You get $5,000, which you're going to be like, that's so much money. Well, let me just go ahead and tell you the end of this story. You ain't getting 7th place, brother, so don't worry about it. It's just, I can't do it, man. I'm going to play some in it, but I got a little bit of spare change that I can do that with. In the long term, this is what's going to happen, new guy. You're just getting back into golf. You've been doing football. This is the first week football's over. You're back into golf. You got your $50. You're going to go toss two. Maybe you're feeling squirrely. You'll do $60. You're going to go toss your 3 lineups in that, and it's just such a negative EV play. If you want to just go toss a lineup and go play in this $33 single entry, man, just go check it out. It's so much better. There's even other $33 single entries, but I've already reserved them, so they're not showing up here, right? This is just a really good tournament. 10% to first. Second place is 66% of first. 10th place, 10% of first. This is such a better tournament for your money, man. It will go so much further if you just play in these single entries and these 3 maxes. Not to mention, when you put 3 lineups in the big one, you're going to have the big dicks playing 150, and they're better than you, and they've got more lineups. I don't like your chances, okay? If you want to play the lottery, I'm pretty sure they have that at 7-Eleven. Do they have that? They have it at the fucking convenience store, okay? So, from there, I've heard some people complaining about the 20 max this week. The $3 20 max is a great tournament. 10% to first, half of that to second. All of that is good. But what you got to start asking yourself is, like, what are your chances that you're going to beat 60,000 lineups? And it's not very common, right? I would actually be wanting to play in like a secondary version of that where you're not trying to beat 60,000 people. The 88 is great this week. You can never go wrong with a $100 single entry. The secondary $33. The $10 18 max, my baby, which they screwed up this week, DraftKings. I'm looking at you. When did we agree that we were going to give 17% to first? When did we agree to that? 10th place is 133rd of first. Do you read my messages, DK? They're not listening. They don't care. I'm just nothing to them. I meant nothing to them, and it hurts. It hurts. It does. I'm an emotional creature. Let's see. The $5. Oh, wow. The big $5 already full, and they got the secondary up. My God, man. My God. There you go. I don't know why. That $5. People love that $5. If the secondary is already freaking a third of the way full, Polly, tell them.
Get the fuck out of here.
All right, let's see. $12 single entry is great. I love the $44 club twirl. For all of you that play higher limits but want to have a better chance of hitting, this little 3 max 150, pretty nice. Nice. But for there, like if I'm playing $5 this week, and I'm going to tell you to do this, go play a $5 single entry. This $5 single entry tournament is pretty good. That's what I'm doing, right? Here's another one. You're playing $10 this week. I love this little $3 3 max. This is great. And if you want to know what it's like to MME, that stands for mass multi-enter, I want you to just go check out the 50 cent. I don't even know if they show up for me. I don't think I'm allowed to play in them, so they don't show up. Maybe they do. Well, there's the quarter, so clearly I can. But those are good tournaments, right? If you want to practice MME, putting 150 lineups in there, balancing your exposure, working on your player pool, all of that, that's a great way to do it without having to invest hundreds or thousands of dollars, okay? So that would be my advice to you. But you want to know the best contest you could play in, the best one you could possibly play in is mine. It'll be in the description of this video. Get in there. First place, you get to play a ticket with me that I will pay for, and we will split the profits 50-50, and you get a free week on my website/Discord, and second place also gets that on there. And let me just go ahead and tell you, people fucking like it, Bob. They like it over there. They usually just end up staying. So I'm telling you, playing this tournament completely free. It's just fun. No strings attached. No email. No weird shit. It's just about having fun. I'm building a community. Doing things a little bit different, okay? This brings us to, I've already gotten ahead of myself. The editor is pissed right now because I got into the flow. We're doing the $100 giveaway. Editor, I forgot. We're doing the $100 giveaway now. This is for the $100 ticket, $100 single entry tonight. You DM me. Who is it? It's Spoonman43. What a fucking name. Spoonman43. You were making a $100 ticket with me. Hey, editor, do one more just as a backup, okay? In case I can't get a hold of old Spoonman. Hopefully the next one's not like Fork Woman. It'd get weird in here. It would get weird. Kevin Lane, you're my backup. I know he's here. He just typed a period. All right, there you go. Spoonman, you reach out to me. If I don't hear from you tonight, Kevin, you reach out to me. $100 single entry. There it is. Me and you splitting the profits 50-50. I think first place, and that's like $10,000 or $20,000 this week. Wouldn't mind PayPaling you that, brother. Okay, it comes to the portion of the night. I have story time. The big guy hasn't done a story time. I used to do this on my old streams back when I started. People seem to like it, so I said, you know what? I'm bringing back story time tonight. All right, I know you just want your information. You're like, I don't got time for your stories. Well, then click the fuck off. All right, here we go. Here is the story. I've been playing DraftKings. I'm entering my 8th year. So I've played 7 full years of DraftKings PGA, right? Those first 2 years, which would have been 2016, 2017, literally I didn't know what I was doing, right? I listened to content. If I'm being completely honest, Pat Mayo and Jeff Feinberg's Monday show really got me into it, and it got me excited. I can still vividly remember Pat saying, I like Jason Kokrak this week, and I remember saying to myself, I have no fucking idea who that guy is. I'm playing Jason Kokrak because I'm like so many of you who are just getting into this, and you just listen to what these big talking heads say and who they say to play. And that is the dumbest, worst thing you can do, right? I know you know no better when you first start because these other people have so much more experience knowing the players, knowing the courses, knowing the strategy. It's just natural to want to do that. But your ultimate goal should be to become your own person and make your own plays and not follow other people's picks. That's got to be your goal. But 5 years ago, I had been doing PGA for 2 years. I was getting to be where I could be almost like, a break-even player. I hit $1,000 and I was like, I am the greatest of all time. I hit $1,000 lineup, right? And then I'd lose 100, lose 100, lose 100, lose 100, and then hit 50 and just stuff like that. I was just kind of a pay-the-rake type of player. I wasn't playing the game. I was just making picks. And then 2018, the Genesis rolled around. And I remember that week, I really wanted to play Bubba Watson. Bubba Watson was the nuts play. He had great form. He owns Riviera. It's it's a Bubba course, so to speak. And I wanted to play him, but he was going to be the mega chalk, right? That was back when I played a lot more over on FanDuel, and his pricing was so soft, he was legit going to be 50% owned. But then Wednesday night, an article broke out that Bubba was playing in the NBA All-Star game, and he said, if there's a chance I'm going to miss the NBA thing, I will withdraw from the tournament and go play in the NBA All-Star Challenge thing. That was more important to him than the golf tournament. And everybody was freaking out about this. Oh my God, I can't play a chalky guy that's going to go leave the tournament and withdraw on me. And I knew at that point that it was time, it was the first time I'd ever thought to myself, hey, it's time to play the game. And so I was going to actually kind of fade Bubba. I knew enough about ownership. I didn't want to play a 50% on Bubba. Once I heard that news and I knew everybody was going to panic, I decided to go all in on Bubba. I played him in all my lineups. And back then, that was probably something like 20 or 25 lineups. I think it was like $9. And I was playing probably $100 to $200 a week. And I just decided I'm going all in on Bubba. Okay, I'm going to take this panic that people are having and I'm going to bet against it. I'm going to play the game and get away from my stupid fucking picks. Okay. And that week, Bubba goes on to win the Genesis. And when you have the winner in every lineup, well, that gives you a lot of bullets to hit the nuts, right? And Sunday rolled around, and I was sitting in the top 10, and then and I really needed Dustin Johnson to fuck off because he's the guy that ended up at 50%. I needed Cam Smith to fuck off, and you know what? They both kind of did. And I needed Scott Stallings to kind of take off for me. He was my 2% owned guy that if he could just have a good round 4, I was going to win this thing. And by the 14th hole, I had like a 40-point lead on everybody. And I didn't know enough about GPPs to realize this shit was over. I had it in the bag. I was going to win. And this is that lineup right here. That was that lineup. I won. I still, to this day, remember being like, it was a surreal feeling when you've never won a big GPP and you hit your first one. This is 5 years ago. Look, you can tell what a noob I was. I still have Pat's old symbol up there, okay, because Pat was the one that got me into it, so I thought, I'll use his avatar. And here is that lineup. I mean, it was the nuts, right? Like I had Bubba Watson. I think he was at 8%. I had Scott Stallings at 2%. And then I just filled it in with a bunch of good guys. Had a magical Sunday, boat raced everybody, and won my very first GPP. And from that day, I've always realized it's about playing the game, and it's not about people's stupid fucking picks. It's not about what, the touts are saying. And once I learned that, it completely changed how good of a player and effective of a player I was at PGA DFS. And it is when I started playing at a much more serious level instead of just being, the guy who sits on the shitter Sunday or Thursday morning and tosses some lineups in. So this tournament, more than probably any other tournament, has a special place in my heart simply because of that, because I will always remember playing the game and getting rewarded for it and how it completely changed my mindset and really kind of changed the trajectory of my life. So because of that, I fucking love you, Scott Stallings, and I definitely love Bubba Watson. We love Bubba. God, I love that man. Listen, hey, new sound effect for Bubba, everybody. There you go. We're clapping it up for Bubba. We're clapping it up for Bubba. All right. New guy, sorry for the long story, but I had to pontificate. So here you go. Hey, new guy, what's the first thing we always check? You've been watching the Showdown Hoedown, you lying motherfather. That's right, it's weather. And if you don't know, the big guy is, I'm pretty well off, and so I can afford the $18 a year to pay for windy.com. And so because of that, I've learned a lot. I've learned that there's basically 6 towers, 6 projections, whatever. I still got different people telling me different shit. But there's basically 6 different projections that every single site is using. So why not just have them all 6 in the same place instead of saying this site says this and this site says this? Let's just compare them all to each other. And as you can see, generally speaking, it would appear as though the weather is going to be pretty moderate this week. A couple of them are saying that we could get a little bit of wind Thursday afternoon and a little bit of wind Friday morning. But generally speaking, it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of wind, okay? As you can see, 4 of the 6 are saying nothing, and then 2 of them, one of them is saying we're going to get a little bit of wind Thursday afternoon, and another one is saying we're going to get a little bit of wind Friday morning. So if you want to be a gambler, it would appear to me that if these projections work out, that you have about a 1 in 6 chance at maybe nailing a wave edge. And if you do that, it would appear as though the Thursday AM, Friday PM guys would be the guys to play, right? So you want the guys going out tomorrow morning. That means they'll play Friday afternoon. I don't really think that's going to happen. It's a 1 in 6 chance, and really you got to get both of them to work probably to really get an edge, and now you're looking at, 1 in 36? I don't know if that's there. So I don't see a huge wind edge this week, but if I was playing a wind edge, I would probably go Thursday AM, Friday PM guys. And you're saying, well, why are you spending all this time talking about weather if there ain't no edge? Well, first of all, quit fucking talking like that. Second of all, what you want to know is maybe you use that as a tiebreaker, right? You get down and your last guy in is either, Alex Smalley or Scott Stallings. I'm just pulling a couple names out of my ass here, okay? And you can't decide who to play. Well, maybe go look and see if there's a wave edge and say, well, if they're all completely equal, maybe I'll just play the guy that might be on the better wave, right? Because, or you could go ask your tout and they'll tell you who to play. And here's a little secret. They don't fucking know. It's 50-50. They don't know. They really don't. Sorry, the F counter's heavy tonight. You can tell the big guy's pumped up for the tournament. We are adults. We're going to go check more than one site, but I will tell you, all these other sites are just using these towers, so I don't really know what we're doing here. As you can see, Windfinder says about the same thing. They say it's going to be really nice Thursday morning. It is going to be a bit nipply, and they're going off early, 6:40 a.m. Wow, that's early. And then the most moderate winds tomorrow afternoon, but they do say it could be a little spicy Friday morning. So, looking at this, you would think that maybe Thursday morning, Friday afternoon would have the better edge. That if you want to go off Windfinder, but that's basically what we already saw on the other one. You come over here to Willy Weather, who has been really willy recently. They're saying it's going to be constant all day. They actually have it quite a bit higher than everybody else. All day. And then Friday they got nothing. So they're saying it's basically going to be the same both days. And of course the Weather Channel, I have heard that they do weather. Yes, weather. That's the word going around the streets. You can see they think that there's going to be a little bit of wind tomorrow afternoon, picking up to 9. Not that that's like blow you off the course, but it ain't nothing, Bob. Let's see. And then Friday, it's kind of blocked out, but you can see they basically have it steady at 5 to 6 all day Friday. So there you go. All over the place is where we're at, okay? So long story short, what am I doing about the weather? I'm really not factoring it in. And you know me more than anybody. I love to play a weather edge, but I'm not going to play something that's not there, right? At most, I will use it to break a tie when I'm trying to get my player pool down from 26 down to 23 tonight, okay? That's basically what I'm going to do. Speaking of that, I got to make lineups tonight. How do I make 200 lineups? Actually, I'm only doing like 110 this week. How do I make 110 lineups after I go do this and I go make all these lineups with all these people and I answer all the questions in my Discord and make all that content? How do I do it? It's very simple. I do this right here. It's called the solver. It is the best optimizer out there. As you can see, my projections are already loaded in there. So is my ownership. You can make 110 lineups exactly how you want, perfectly optimized, taking your player pool and making the best versions of them. And when you do that, that's how you get to the top of leaderboards, assuming you have a good player pool. The craziest thing about this is for an optimizer, these things are usually like $100 a month. How about $25 a month? What are we doing? Make sure to use my landing page. It's right there. It'll have a little showdown, hoedown symbol on it. When you use that, that will then allow you to get all my ownership projections and my point projections for each round of showdown and for the classic week long that we're talking about right now, okay? So go do that. Sign up. It's the solver's where it's at, bro. It's where it's at. I'll die on this hill. You want to go? All right. For all of you that don't know, the big guy, I'm kind of the definition of a sweaty tryhard. Okay. Why am I a sweaty tryhard? Well, I love ownership. Okay. Some guys get off on, the weather. Some guys get off on course architecture. That's me with ownership, right? I'm like, he might only come in at 16%. So we need to know that I do ownership projections and they're really, really good. But are they better than everybody else's? Well, here you go. This is last week's Waste Management. These are all the biggest names in the industry. And I want to just take a second to point out, this is not the exact same I put out in the tweet. FTN, the numbers I have for them was actually their Tuesday projections. And this is their Wednesday projections, right? So it made their numbers a lot better. They had a lot better projections than their final projections. So I want to be fair to them because the point of tweeting this out is not to shit on people or make anybody look like a dumbass. It's basically just to let people know, here's what you're getting for those projections you're using if they're any good, right? This was last week at Waste Management. FTN was a lot better than I tweeted out. I just being fair, being transparent. I was not number one last week. ETR was number one. Very good projections last week. But overall, you can see ETR still has the highest within 1% percentage, but within 2%, within 3%, less than 5% off, and R squared. The big guy's king. What do you want me to say? For all of you that don't know, we have a thing around here called chalk donkeys, okay? Hey, donkeys! We don't play donkey chalk! Except when we do. So, when it comes to donkey chalk, we need to ask one simple question. Because you've heard that the chalk always gets there, man. I hate this game. Okay, well, does it? We're tracking it. We're finding out. Last week, we selected Cantlay, Cam Young, and Keith Mitchell as our 3 donkey chalk guys. And then I do a primary pivot, who my goal is to try to get somebody roughly half the ownership of that guy. And then I do like a crazy pivot that's way lower owned. And as you can see, Cantlay got smoked by Thomas and by Hideki. Cam Young got smoked by Sam Burns and by Spieth, and Keith Mitchell, well, he's a god in 3 different religions. So he smoked Henley and he smoked Maverick McNeely. So overall, not a great week for the chalk donkeys, right? If you want to know how it's looking overall, it is currently right here. You can see the top chalk guys are definitely getting there at a high amount, right? The bottom chalk guys are getting there at a really good amount. The middle chalk guy, not so much. Overall, the number is now at 60-40. The chalk guys are getting there 60% of the time. You're like, man, that's a lot. Well, not really, because to get there 60, if they're 3 times higher owned, they would need to be getting there 75% of the time to justify that. So that's what we're tracking. We are now 15 weeks in. We're going to keep doing it. It ain't going nowhere because I'm the anti-donkey chalk guy, except when I'm not. Okay, let's talk ownership. It is why the people come. It is what you need to know. If you don't know, it's the single most important thing about PGA DFS. It's the one thing where you can really play the game. People who don't say that say otherwise, they've just never won. They don't know any better, right? So let me tell you. Ownership has gotten a lot better. Across the industry, people are getting better at pivoting. They're starting to realize what bad chalk is, and you're just not seeing those huge spikes in ownership that we used to see, which kind of sucks, right? And like, I would be lying if I didn't say I'm at least partly to blame for this and holding other people accountable so they put out good projections so people can be like, oh shit, I shouldn't play that guy. He's too highly owned. So because of that, ownership is starting to flatten out. It is the world we live in, Bob. So let's talk about the top 10, and I got a couple honorable mentions for you. Those honorable mentions, wink, wink, should probably be a clue on what they might be. Rory McIlroy. Rory. Here's a Rory McIlroy. I got to tell you, I was close. I will tell you. There is a chance Rory could catch some steam tonight. I might do one more ownership. I have a fear that I have him just a hair too low. I feel like he might be 25 or 26. But my rule is you got to be significantly higher than the guys right above you and right below you, like within a few $100s. And he's not completely out of line with those guys right around him. So for Rory, as much as I love to call that man a donkey, I think he's just a chalk, okay? He's just a chalk. But you drop down to 9,500, you run into Tony Finau. And right now I have Tony Finau as the second highest owned guy, when there are legit guys right above him and right below him at 10, 11, 13%. So that would, by definition, make Tony the man's donkey chalk. He is donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk. Except when we do, guy over there. All right. John Rahm, 19%. You know what? For anybody that doesn't understand chalk, he's just whatever. It's just because he's the highest priced guy, he's going to get ownership. It's just okay chalk, right? If you want to play John Rahm, you should probably feel pretty good. You're going to get him around 20%, okay? That's where you're at. This brings me to old Patrick missed the cut last week, okay? Patrick Cantlay is $9,000. Let's face it. He's underpriced, okay? He's underpriced. He should be 95 to 9,700 in this field. But he's $9,000. And if I know one thing about ownership psychology, people love a value. And Patrick Cantlay, you're getting an incredible player at $9,000. And people may not like him in his boring ass face, but I will tell you this, people are going to play him. So if you don't know, Patrick Cantlay, the man's donkey chalk. He is donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk. Except when we do. Patrick, Xander Schauffele, 9,900. I've got him coming in at 17%. He's not out of line with those people around him. So I think we're going to be nice to old Xander. We're just going to give him a coin chalk, okay? From there, Morikawa. This one's disappointing. He was going to be my, I'm so sneaky. Look at me playing a pivot. But apparently the community's on to old Morikawa. And he is not going to be that. He is teetering on the edge of donkey chalk. But I think because I still want to play him, I'm just going to call him chalk, okay? Don't love it, but he's chalk. Scotty Scheffler at 10,700. If you call that chalk, what the fuck ever, okay? It's just okay chalk. Right? He's only 17% because people pay. People spend their money. That's how ownership works, okay? And so they're just going to click his name. Victor Hovland, 8,900. I went back and forth on this one. First of all, I don't get it, but whatever. I mean, he is probably a little underpriced. He should probably be 9,300. But, there's just some guys close enough around him that he wasn't out of line. So once again, he's just going to get, I don't love it, chalk. Okay? Justin Thomas, Max Homa, both coming in at 15%. That's not even chalk, but I get that there's morons in this industry that don't understand the term. So they're just okay chalk, right? Like if you think anything over 15% is chalk, well, first of all, you're a dumbass. And second of all, I'll just call them okay chalk so people know that that's not really chalk worth sweating. But we do have two honorable mentions down here, didn't we? Taylor Montgomery, 7,600, right? Taylor Montgomery I got him coming in around 13%. He's not going to be the runaway ownership train that I thought he would be. But there's legit guys on both sides of him at like 5%. Okay? And I get that Taylor Montgomery is underpriced. He should probably be somewhere in the $8,200 range based on his talent. But he's not. And so he's underpriced, and that's going to make people own him. So him being at 13%, and everybody around him being 5%, obvious, clear pivots, I think we just got to say, the man's donkey chalk. He is donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk. Except when we do, guy over there. That guy over there is fucking busy tonight. All right, last one. Patrick Rogers. Patrick Rogers is 10%. If you don't see where this is coming, first of all, welcome, new guy. You need to learn the brand. My list starts and ends with the biggest slap dicks in PGA. So Patrick Rogers is coming in right at 10%, 9.9, right? We'll round it to 10. Okay, Patrick Rogers, 10%, when literally the two guys above him and the two guys below him are 2%. If you think that Patrick Rogers is 5 times likely to outperform the guys right around him, please, slip into the DMs tonight. Lay me 5-1 odds. I'll bet any amount of money you are comfortable betting, okay? Let's face it, you ain't going to do that because the man he's donkey chalk. The man is donkey chalk, and we don't play donkey chalk ever when it's Patrick Rogers. There's the answer. All right, so that is ownership, guys. Once again, please hear me on this, new guy. This is something that gets misconstrued so often. You see those guys in red, how they're donkey chalk? A lot of people said, DJN75 said they're donkey chalk, can't play them. No, I didn't, you donkey. I said they're donkey chalk. It just means you need to be aware when you play them. If you have a whole bunch of donkey chalk guys in your player pool and a whole lot of chalk guys, you basically are creating lineups that are dead before the tournament even starts. Okay, you're like, what do you mean dead before tournament even starts? I believe it's Skyhook that puts out the tweet of how many duplicated lineups there are every week. Ask yourself this. When was the last time you ever saw a train win a big PGA DFS contest? The answer is fucking never. It never happens. They're dead because they're playing all the same guys, and they don't understand that, like, when you play the exact same guys as everybody else, you end up with 1v1s versus thousands and thousands of people, right? Or you end up with the exact same lineup as tons and tons of people, and that is never going to be the winning lineup at PGA DFS. This ain't NBA. This ain't NFL, okay? There is always going to be a slapdick Nick Taylor that's going to be in the winning lineup. You've got to get out of your comfort zone. And if you want to go play 3 or 4 chalk guys, go ahead. But then make sure those last 2 or 3 spots are some really good pivots or some really low-owned sleepers. And be aware of what your lineup looks like. And don't just go pick 6 chalk donkeys and put them together. If you want proof that I'm right, just ask yourself this. Why do dupe trains never win at PGA DFS? Literally ever. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Maybe it's happened, but like the fact that I've never seen it as much as I play should prove my point. Do not fall in love with it. It does not mean every lineup probably is going to have 1 or 2 chalky pieces in it that are in the optimized lineup. So the key is determining which chalk is worth eating, and when I put that chalk in my lineup, what do I do with the rest of my lineup? And the answer is almost always have a pivot or 2 in there or have a low-owned sleeper or 2 in there, and that will offset any chalkiness. I'm not telling you to not play Rory. I'm not telling you to play Patrick Rodgers. Okay, maybe I'm telling you not to play Patrick Rodgers, but I'm not telling you not to play Cantlay. I'm not telling you not to play Finau. These guys are fine to play. They're great plays. That's why they're chalky. What I'm telling you is be aware to what it does to the rest of your lineup and don't get the message screwed up like all the dumbasses that misquote me. Please and thank you. All right, let's get over to my model. If you don't know, I'm a big model guy. I got my model. Things I looked at this week. I've listened to a couple things in the industry, as Andy Lack has so intelligently pointed out, is like once you get to doing a lot of content, you got to make content all the time. It gets really hard to listen to all the content you want to. So I don't get to listen to as much as I want, but the few pieces that I do get to listen to, they seem to think that like bombers are going to be the play this week, and I kind of have a different thing. I've always played the Genesis, as I don't care about off the tee that much. If they're good at driving, that's not a negative. But I'd rather have good drivers than driving distance. I value ball striking. I think it's a second shot course, and I think the stats bear this out. That you have to be a strong player with medium to long irons. That's your 150 to 200 yards, right? You got to be strong in that range, and you got to be able to get up and down when you miss those greens, especially on those difficult par 4s. That's where most of the bogeys on this course come. So I want guys that play long, hard, and medium courses. And that's what I focused on here, right? So ball striking, good drives, greens in regulation, very connected to success here, right? No surprise. If you're not in the bunker, you're going to score better. What a concept. I want to know guys who've had good approach recently, guys who avoid bogeys on hard courses. Of course, you got to look at around the greens. West Coast POA, thanks to my dude Ron Claus for pointing that out, because once again, don't jerk off the grass. I just see POA. I see POA, but he said there's West Coast POA. It's different. He knows more than me. I'll listen to him. Fast greens, difficult par 4 to 450, long and medium hard courses, those proximity ranges, and of course, I put course history on there just to glance at. And who's number 1 in the model? Tony Finau. Wait, I thought Rory and Rahm were always number. Hey, I finally made a model that Rory and Rahm's not number 1. I must be like getting good at making like models and stuff. So anyway, some guys to talk about. Jonathan Ramathan, of course, he's great in the model. He's good in every model, right? What I want to talk about is it would appear as though out of these top 4 guys, Rahm, Scheffler, Rory, Thomas, where a lot of people will begin their builds, it would appear as though Rahm and Rory are definitely going to be the ones that garner the most attention. But I would just say, in a vacuum, do you really think that Rory and Rahm are any more likely to win than Scheffler? I could buy that they're more likely to win than Thomas. So you got to start asking yourself, at what point, like, is Rahm 2-1 more likely to outperform Thomas? 3-1? It's your world. You tell me what you think. And I think that you got to just ask yourself that question. To me, I think that Rahm is more likely to beat Thomas. Is he twice as likely? Definitely not. So if I saw his ownership something like 2 times higher, I would just play Thomas over Rahm blindly, right? Because we've both seen they have winning upside, right? But to me, the real area is right in here. What to do once you get under 10K. As you can see, the model, it loves Sungjae and Finau. And no surprise, Finau's a great fit at this course. He's good at almost everything I looked at other than long proximity. He has great course history. He checks every box. He's very fairly priced at $9,500. It's hard to not play Tony this week. I agree. Sungjae, however, is great in my model, and everybody treats him like he's the plague. Why? Because he has 2 missed cuts here? He made the cut last year, and he got 33rd. I don't get it. Max Homa won this tournament 2 years ago. When I think of a guy who plays long, difficult courses well, which, by the way, I'm not convinced that this course is going to play as long and difficult as it has in the past. I looked a lot more at last year's stats because it does seem as though last year was the first year that the players really got after this course more than the course got after them. And with no wins to protect the course this year, I think that we're going to see a winner somewhere in the minus 17 to minus 19 range. So I don't think it's going to be the traditional long, hard course that I like to play. And so that makes me more open to some guys than I would normally be, right? When I'm looking for guys who play long, difficult courses well, I'm looking for a specific type of player. But I'm not convinced that it's going to be that hard. If the winning score is minus 18, you can't tell me that's a super hard course, bruh. Morikawa catching steam. Makes sense. I mean, he's really good at the things I looked at. Oh, look at that. Oh, ball striking, good drives, greens and regulation approach. I want to play so bad. Okay. Will Zalatoris, look, I'm going to give Jeff Feinberg credit for this. He was the one that said, why didn't Will Zalatoris play last week? And he did an inception in my ass. He planted that thought deep in my skull, and now I can't get it out of there. Why didn't Will Zalatoris play last week at the Waste Management? I don't know the answer, Bob. I don't know the answer. But I know this. I know that Will Zalatoris is the perfect fit for what I want at the Genesis. He was the first name I thought of, and now I'm getting 8,700, and he's going to be at discounted ownership. I think I might just be okay taking that risk, dude. I think I might just be okay playing that risk. Tom Kim, everybody's favorite chalk donkey. Now nobody wants to play him? Okay, sweet. $8,500 Tom Kim, and he's a pivot. What a time to be alive, Bob. I think Tyrrell Hatton is going to get very popular. Matthew Fitzpatrick's underpriced, and as I've already told you, that's rule number one of ownership. People get ownership when they are underpriced. He is underpriced. Adam Scott is a god here. I thought Ricky Fowler would be chalky this week, but he's not. I got him coming in like a modest 8%. This is a great little pivot range. Fowler, Kim, Tigala. I think even Wyndham Clark's not as chalky as I thought, because everybody in this range is going to be soaked up by Bradley, Taylor Montgomery, and to a lesser extent, Seamus Power. No one's playing Corey Connors. He's just sandwiched right there between all those chalky guys above him. And then Keith Mitchell and Hadwin are pretty popular. What blows my mind is Shane Lowry is definitively a better player than all of these guys. He plays long, hard course as well. And because he has bad form, we act like that big old sexy man can't bounce out of it. The fact that I got Shane Lowry at 6%, I think the lucky star's above. Okay, because that's insane. That's insane. He's a better golfer than all of them. I know. I love recent form too, but at some point you just got to say, who's a better golfer? Come on, bro. He got it all out of his system last week. He's done sucking. He partied too hard at Waste Management. Tiger, God, it's awesome. Tiger's back. Ah, Tiger's back. Let's go. Tiger's back. Got a new horn. You like that? All right. I honestly, I can't play him. I just can't. I can't do it, man. What's his upside? His upside is he makes the cut and he struggles through the weekend for T50. That's his upside, in my opinion. If you have a different take, go ahead. Tommy Fleetwood, underpriced. I love Tommy Fleetwood at long, hard courses, and he's not too chalky. I'm not opposed to it, Bob. If you don't know, Brennan Steele and Davis Riley withdrew, so please don't play them. Go ahead if you're playing me, but other than that, don't play him. Patrick Rogers. My model loves Patrick Rogers. You got to play Patrick Rogers. He's the nuts. Okay, moving on from there, Jonathan Vegas is going to probably be the most high-owned guy in the 6,000s, which makes sense. He's really good off the tee. He can play long course as well by cutting him down to size. If you want a couple sleepers to consider, Sam Ryder, Francesco Molinari is a guy that I always think of when I think of long, hard, difficult courses. His stats are going to look horrific, but you got to remember he's been playing a lot over on the Euro Tour, so a lot of those stats are going to be hidden, and you're not getting the true picture. Sam Ryder's coming in great form. The fact that you can get him under 5% at 6,700, and here's the weird thing. I've always thought of Sam Ryder as a guy that plays difficult courses poorly and plays easy courses well, but these past few weeks, he does just fine at difficult courses, doesn't he? James Hahn has elite course history here. If you want a guy that's under 2% owned that could blow up and go crazy this week, it's James Hahn. There you go. I think that's it for the sleepers. I think that's it for my model and what I looked at this week. So now, let's get to the drawing. You ready for the drawing? Oh, nope. I'm getting ahead of myself. Who's the one guy I'm definitely not playing? The one guy I am definitely not playing. If you've been watching my show for more than a month and you don't know the answer to this, shame on you, new guy, or semi-new guy. The one guy I'm definitely not playing, the ultimate. No chance we're playing Patrick Rogers. No chance I will play that loser at 10%. You go down in flames playing that piece of shit. Not a chance. What are we doing? Get out of here. Polly, tell him.
Get the fuck out of here.
All right. But for the one guy I'm going to play, I will warn you. First of all, I have been fasting. I think I'm 76 hours into my fast right now, so I'm a little hungry, so I might be craving some Lucky Charms. There is that, right? There is that I am craving some Lucky Charms. There is the fact that I like Tyrrell Hatton. And I love that he had a secret affair long ago with a leprechaun lady, a very lucky lady, and they had a beautiful offspring. And I love the fact that I'm going to get a guy that I think is a good course fit at reduced ownership because he sucked last week. So who is the one guy I'm playing? We're playing Cam! We're playing Cam Young, everybody! We're going all in on Cam. Cam Young. What could go wrong? He says he's got the 4-leaf clover shoved off his ass, doesn't he? Yes, he does. All right, let's get to the drawing, but before we get there, go check out my site, dgen75.com. It is an ever-growing community. It is awesome. We celebrate each other. We have a good time. We have the Discord. If you're not into Discord, you're an old man, you just want the content, all the content is on the website. You don't have to be a part of the Discord. I make content over there. We have a community over there. It is awesome. You saw the screenshots earlier, but what I also have is the best tool out there called the Rosetta Stone, where I take all my 50 hours of work all week that I do, and I put it all into one place where you can go reference and look at the stats that matter. Instead of just going to a website with a bunch of numbers and they're like, hey, asshole, good luck, figure it out. How about I put it in a place that makes sense, order it, and you can pick what matters to you so you can make your own plays and not rely on touts and their stupid fucking picks. How does that sound? Well, that's what the Rosetta Stone is. I do it for I do it for week long, round 3, and round 4 showdown. It is the best tool out there. If you don't believe me, just ask the motherfathers over there. Hey, do me a favor. I'm independent as F. I only get sponsored by people who win lots of money on DraftKings and sponsor my giveaways. So what you could do to really help me out is, go like and subscribe. We're almost to 2,500. I would much appreciate it. Tell a friend, because you know fucking DraftKings is not going to spread the word. 1,500 views last week, and I got 8,000 impressions. Thanks for nothing, YouTube. Lastly, reach out to me on Twitter. A lot of people ask me what makes you different than everybody else. I'll tell you, it's very simple. I'm just a normal dude. You heard the story earlier. 5 years ago, I was you, the guy watching this right now. Just a normal dude that liked to play PGA DFS. And then I realized something and I got better at it, and I've improved my process over the years and learned a lot through trial and error. I'm that guy. I never take myself too serious. I'm not like a content creator that doesn't have time for you. You want to know the truth? I'm a man of the people. Just come over to the Discord. You'll see. All right, let's get to it. We are doing a drawing. This is sponsored by me. This is just me giving away. J-Rex did the $100 giveaway earlier. This is 2 $20 tickets to build with me tonight for the pitch and putt, and who's going to play me in the $25 fuck counter. Who is it? Mark McRae. That guy always wins. This guy is unbelievable. And then Bill Ramey. Hey, there you go. Billy and Mark, 2 $20 tickets tonight. Mark, I know you know how to get a hold of me, you motherfather. Billy, I don't recognize you, but do me a favor. Shoot me a DM tonight on Twitter. If you're on the Discord, you can DM me over there. We'll make a lineup tonight. And lastly, the last one is to play me in the fuck counter. It is Ayo. Let's go. There you go. That is the winners tonight. Get a hold of me. Ayo, I need you to send me a contest invite so we can play each other to the death. All right, that's it. That is it. That is we're going to go to Q&A now. But for all of you that just hung around for the giveaways, you slimy bastards, you can leave now. But this is where the show really kicks off, you motherfather. All right, if you didn't ask a question, I'm not reading it because this chat is epically long. My God, man. My God. All right. I want that $100 single entry with the big guy. Devin, you already whooped my ass once, okay? Just be happy we're teaming up on a 20, you motherfather. That's my big guy. Let's go. All right, just looking for questions here. If I don't see a question mark, I'm not answering. Hey, I.O., I'm Ron Burgundy. You won, motherfather. Look at that. It's because you typed a funny question. All right. We playing The Hobbit this week? I think so. I don't know what it is. He fits what I want. If I'm not valuing mashers off the tee, and I want guys that can get around a green and or are good with long irons, give me a little bit of Hobbit. And he's actually played this course well. I think I'm warm to him, dude. I think I'm warm to him. And there's just so many other chalky guys down there that I don't want to play. It just makes sense to play him. That's where I'm at. Thoughts on Dietrich this week? Last guy on my single entry. Very easy answer here, Christian. If you are willing to go down in flames, you play Thomas Dietrich. I think he is underpriced for his talent. Jeez Louise. I think he is underpriced for his talent. So I would be warm to playing him. But just know that there's a chance you are going to wake up and he is going to be 4 over through 6, and you're going to be already kissing your money goodbye. That's what I would say. But if you're not afraid of that, you're willing to go down in flames like I am, play that motherfather. Thoughts on Adam Hadwin? I like him. I'm telling you, I am not valuing bombers this week. I like guys that can be crafty. I love his course history here. I like how he's playing. I like everything about Adam Hadwin. Jamie Sinclair put a question mark. A true loser. His birthday is actually January 12th. Andrew Walker. Do you love the big guy? I do, personally. Oh, you guys are just trying to hustle the system. What are your thoughts on Russell Henley bounce back this week? Well, he can't play any worse than he did last week. I will tell you, as a guy who's good with long irons and consistent off the tee, he does kind of fit what I'm looking for. And the fact that you can probably get him around 5 or 6% ownership makes him at least worth a serious consideration. Fade the whole 10K range? Look, there's no way I can fade Scheffler and Rahm in all my lineups. I just feel like those guys have so much win equity. You're just playing with fire. But I'm also doing 71 lineups, right? So you got to consider that too. All right, who is your pick to win this week, and why is Kawa the delicate flower? You know what? I'm going to go with another delicate flower to win this week. I'm going with Willie Z. No, I'm kidding. Cam Young's going to win. He's got a shamrock shoved up his ass. No, Dante. No, wait. Why did my Irish guy become Scottish? I'm not sure. All right. Why isn't Thomas Peters here? I don't know. I saw him. Somebody sent me a tweet of him whining and bitching on Twitter. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm pretty out of the loop. I've given up the Twitters. How important is it for someone who's played this course before? I like a little course history. I've heard some smart people say it's kind of like Augusta. You're a lot better off if you have a little bit of like nuance and a little bit of experience in knowing the course. So it's not a deal breaker for me. Like, I'm still going to play Tom Kim because I just think he's a world-class talent. But it definitely don't hurt, brother. It's definitely a big bonus if you have. Who is the lowest you're going this week? I'm not going to give you the name, Denny, but it's 6,300. He's at 6,300 will be the lowest guy I will play this week, okay? Is it as windy in Oklahoma and Texas tonight? It's been windy yesterday. It's windy tomorrow. But today, the one day that I can't go play golf because I'm busy as fuck doing everything here, it's beautiful out. So, no, it's not windy today, but it's going to be there tomorrow. Thoughts on a low-owned Power? Nick, I'm not so sure he's going to be low-owned. I think in that last ownership, didn't I put him to like 8 or 9%? He is a guy that can play long, hard course as well. He does have decent form, but when I saw 8 or 9%, I kind of got turned off. I wanted to play him at like 4%. And I thought with those chalky guys around him, I might actually get that. What, in your opinion, is a good total win equity for a lineup? Well, when you get into full fields like this with so many badasses, if you can get to like 13% win equity, that's pretty awesome. That's a pretty awesome win equity, right? But, you know, on some weeks it can be as high as 20. Some weeks it's as low as 10. But when you have so many good players, that win equity really gets dispersed through all those good players, right? What are your thoughts about Canadians this week? Hadwin, Connor, Nick Taylor. I'll take the first one, pass on the next two. That's where I'm at. Who is the one guy you're going right back after missed the cut last week? Well, Cam Young felt like he missed the cut last week, didn't he? Who did miss the cut? I can't even remember, Brett. Don't ask me hard questions. I'm going to go with Willie Z. He missed the cut by not being there. Oh, Lord, you on a losing streak. I ain't on a losing streak. I'm on a let them win streak, Nick. It's all about perspective, brother. What's up, big guy? Even small field, you want a little bit different? How much are you comfortable leaving on the table? With this pricing this week, I'm not leaving more than $500 on the table on any of my lineups, right? Because you just upgrade players so much more with that $500. But I'm also a wiener, okay? Not poors. We are not poors around here, Sean. And I like the cut of your jib, brother. Best fade and pivot in the 7K range. Let me get my model up real quick. The best pivot is definitely Corey Connors. The best fade is Patrick Rogers. The guy's a fucking loser. He'll get T2 this week, and everybody will spike the football on me. Good luck with that. Let's see. Sam Burns, yay or nay? It was a hard nay for me until I saw that I have him at 10% ownership. Now it's a hard maybe, Andrew. But is Fratelli viable this weekend? I mean, look, there is one time I played Dylan Fratelli. It is at long, hard courses, and he's actually started to show a pulse the last few weeks. I think that he's a really decent sleeper. Okay, just be aware. He will burn your soul down, but he could get there. What are the chances Tiger wins? 1 in 100. What's up with the List love? I don't get it, Thomas. I don't get it either. Luke List, you guys go right ahead. I think he's actually going to get steamed up to like 4 or 5%. The right people are saying his name tonight. What do you think of Moronk this week? I liked him until, I think, was it Mayo? Some big name talked about him, and then I just know that person's influence is big enough that that's going to at least add 1 or 2% to his ownership, and I wanted to play Moronk when I thought he was going to be 1%, not 3, 4, maybe even 5%. How much chalk is too much chalk in a GPP lineup? Kenny, it's not about the total ownership of your lineup. It's about the product ownership where you multiply the ownership of each of those players. If you have 4 20% owned guys, that's a lot in a lineup, but the last 2 guys in your lineup are 1% owned guys, you're actually going to have a lineup that is tremendously different than most of the field. And so it's not about the total ownership. Some people will say, oh, that's 82% ownership. That's too high. But really what they're missing is that is a much better lineup than playing 6 guys at around 14% ownership, right? It's counterintuitive, but this is why people need to learn the beauty of product ownership. How are we feeling about Fade and Decky this week? Not good, Bob. I feel like that donkey's rounding into form. Ricky or Day? I mean, look, if all things are equal, give me Day, but you also got to factor in that he's like $500 more expensive. Taylor Moore? I like him. I do. Jeff? I'm in. All right. What do you think about Sepp? Shh, Tyler, don't talk about him. Sepp plays long, hard course as well. Sepp is a true winner. Like, that guy is a killer when he's playing well. He's one of those guys that you're going to know Thursday by noon if you're going to win all the GPPs or lose if you played Sepp Straka, because he will be 6 under or 6 over. Last week, I thought I had a good mix and ended up with a weird range. Have you gotten a 20-man pool? How many in each range? So when I do a 20-man pool, I usually do about 15 players. I do usually about 4 or 5 from 9K above. I do about 6 to 7 guys from 7.5K to 8.9, and then the rest I fill in with 7.4 and lower. That's kind of my threshold, Chris. JT going to get steamed? I don't think so. I think that psychological factor, Brent, of 10,100, it does tricks to people's minds, man. People are like, oh, I can't. He's 5 figures. JT ain't no 5-figure player, but if he were 9,900, he would get steamed. That's my theory. That's what I'm running with, brother. Let's see here. Star-Lord, is balance build or stars and scrubs better this week? Well, if you're looking at win equity, I think that you are better going with stars and scrubs. If you were looking at like made cut percentage, a better chance of getting 6 of 6 through the cut, I think it's definitely a balance build. I will say there are some really good players in the 8,000s that are just underpriced. Hey, new guy, what's up? I like you, man. I like the cut of your jib. Welcome, Animation Station. More showdown or week-long this week? Probably 50-50. Probably 50. I just love these week-long contests, man. They're so juicy that I can't say no to them, Mike. So that's where I'm at. But you know I'm going to be attacking showdown, especially if I see some wind kick up Friday. What are your thoughts on Adam Scott? I'm going to play him. But he's in decent form. He's so good at this course. He's the kind of player I want. And yes, I get that he's like almost donkey chalk. I get it. I make the list. But Jesus, I can't quit him. I love Adam Scott. Have you watched the Netflix PGA documentary today? Run the bases. I don't think you know what my Wednesdays are like. I haven't done anything today except make the best content possible for all my mother fathers over on the website and the Discord. I'm a one-man show. I mean, I'm a one-man show when it comes to making the content, but I got a small team of people, Zach and P. Lou and the editor helping behind the scenes, or it would never get done. Even with them, we barely get it done. Everything and FanDuel does suck, which sucks because I would love for DraftKings to have somebody to push them to make a better product. Is this week going to be won by one of the big boys or a surprise winner? I like somebody in the 8Ks. If you said pick a price range where the winner's going to come from, I'll take the 8Ks over any other range, and I'll bet you on that. Definitely made his lineups already. Kirshner. That man. All right, let's see here. Joanne, would Xander be a better play than Finau? I like them both a lot. Like, not to mention they were both in my lineup that won all the money back in the day. Where'd that go? Right there. See, they were both Finau and Xander. I love them forever. They won my first GPP with them. I love them. I would probably take Xander just because I'm going to get a little bit discounted ownership, I think. Thoughts on skipping the 10K guys? I'm okay with it. Just know that there's probably about a 20% chance one of those guys is going to win. I know a very solid golfer and probably touch underpriced, but the deal with Montgomery's ownership, there's similar price guys and better. What am I missing? People just love that Taylor Montgomery's like the new shiny toy. And, there's that news out that like he didn't putt well at Waste Management because he's a world-class putter, and he didn't putt that well because he doesn't feel comfortable there, and people think that he'll get back to putting like a champion. And based on his talent, he should probably be about 8,200, not 7,600. So that's where it's all coming from. The number one thing that influences ownership is good players at discounted prices. That's the number one thing. Will Stewart sink my lineups? Yes, he will. Is Shane Lowry broken? I choose not to believe that, Nick. Double 10K guys in this field are 6K too thin. Wade, check out the sleepers video today. There's about 5 or 6 guys down in the 6Ks. I'm okay playing them. Why is Patrick Rogers so owned? Great course history, and the prevailing narrative in the industry this week is bombers. And if you don't know Patrick Rogers, if nothing else, that dude mashes off the tee. I don't value off the tee as much this week, so I'm definitely being a little contrarian there. Nick, $100. Let's go. The editor eats tonight. Appreciate you mother father. Yeah, we got 3 of them last week. Animation, tell a friend. We're growing, you mother father. Nick's not a poor also. A lot of not poors around here. Is Dietrich a good pivot over Patrick Rogers? Absolutely. Half the ownership, maybe even like a third of the ownership all day long. Brian made his lineups. Did you win last week, Brian? You didn't, did you? That's why. You're doing this to yourself. What are the chances that Rogers being in the optimal showdown lineup all 4 rounds? Well, because I'm fading him, 87%. Optimizer loves Cantlay. Missed the cut last week. Looks awful. Crazy to fade. I'm okay fading him. Cantlay, here's my rule. I made this rule a long time ago. In an easy course, I play Patrick Cantlay every single time. At hard courses, I fade him every single time. It's generally been working out pretty well for me. All right. We got our winner. All right. No sponsoring tonight. Oh, yeah. It was sponsored by J-Rex. Thanks again, J-Rex. That $100 single entry was sponsored by J-Rex. Very cool, dude. David Hernandez, if you could only listen to one piece of content each week, what would it be? Well, if it's Showdown, Dave, it would be the Showdown Hoedown right here on my hat, you motherfather. You know better than to ask that question. Week-long content, I will tell you the two shows I never miss are Mayo and Feinberg on Monday. I don't even do golf betting. I just like that show is in my soul. And then the other one that I never miss is, once again, Mayo. He's the king of just great production and great content. And then he has Tambo on Wednesdays normally. It was Tuesday this week. I think Tambo's the sharpest dude out there for me to listen to that I want to hear. So that's like a home run show to me. So that's the one I never miss. There's other I try to listen to, but you can like bet your you can bet your life that I'm not going to miss that one. Plus they influence ownership and stuff like that probably more than anything because they get the biggest audience. What's for dinner? Nothing, you motherfather. How dare you mention that? I'm 76 hours into a fast and you're going to mention food and a guy named Spoonman one. That's a sign you're on a fast. All right, we're skipping through here. Rahm a lock? I mean, look, here would be my question. Why is Rahm a lock, but Scheffler's not? We've seen Scheffler get on superheaters. We've seen Rahm get on superheaters. So why not take the guy that's going to be at discounted ownership or maybe just play them both? Worked out pretty well last week, didn't it? Does the story end with you telling us to play Tiger? Always. All right, stars and scrubs this week are balanced. I will probably have more balanced, but it's going to be a weird balance, right? It's going to be like 4, 8K, 3, I would say 3 to 4 8K guys, and then probably a 6K guy and a 7K guy. I like a lot of those builds. I don't think I'm giving up too much win equity with some of those guys. I think there's some guys in the 8Ks that could really win this tournament. Thoughts on Colin bounce back? I like him here. Crazy? I think Colin's great. He was like my favorite. Him and after Willie Z, the second guy I thought of was Colin Morikawa. That's why I'm so bummed to see him catch an ownership. Really bummed about it, dude. Scotty keep rolling. It kind of feels like that, don't it, Sean? I don't know. We'll tell. If he wins this week, I'm just playing him every week from now through the Masters. That's the rule. If he goes back and gets a T32nd this week, well then okay, maybe he's not going to go on another superheater. Which 6K range? I'm guessing 6,600. Button on the barrel this week. 6,300 is the bottle for me. If I'm drawing the line at 6,600, the last guy I'd probably play would be somebody like, you know what? Party Marty Laird. Guy's won me a lot of money. I have a soft spot in my heart for him. If you could watch one movie, Step Brothers or Major League? Step Brothers. And that's weird because I love Major League too. But Step Brothers, I just feel like it's aged a little bit better. Major League feels a little old when I watch it. All right. Which 6K guy would you rank the highest? Probably Jonathan Vegas if I'm just playing like safety. If I'm playing like a guy that could really surprise you, Nick Hardy. I think he has the highest upside of anybody in the 6Ks. Did your buddies ever pay you for reaching 1,000 subscribers? Oh, yeah, I tweeted that, Star-Lord, back. It was literally the weekend before July 4th. I hit it because we hit it for the Open Championship. They paid me. It was a lot of money. And they paid me. Good people. Favorite play in the 8K range? I will go with Victor Hovland just because I'm going to fade him. So he'll kill it. What is the F count record? I think I've gotten 30 before. I'm not sure. Should I wait to play Showdown Round 2 through the final rounds? Yeah, Kenneth, I don't like to play Round 1 Showdown. I just did this over on the Discord. I was telling them I did a Round 1 Showdown video, but we're just guessing how the course is going to play tomorrow. We don't really know. So just sweat your week long tomorrow and let's get after Showdown at Round 2. That was my advice for him. But if you're a true degenerate and you need week long and Round 1 sweats, okay, go ahead. It ain't for me, brother. Are you playing Round 1 Showdown? Same answer to you, Bill. Hey, you're on the Discord. Go watch the video. I know it's mainly a risk tolerance, but what would be your target player pool size for 60 players? 22. 22 to 23, because I'm doing 71 lineups, and I'm going to be right there in that range, so I have a pretty good answer on that. Thoughts on Homa? The fact that nobody wants to play him makes me want to play him. Thoughts on Fitzpatrick injury concern? Here's what I'd tell you, Thomas. He made it through last week, and he played his best round on Sunday. So if he's trending, it seems like he's trending in the right direction. Does Adam Scott make a great pivot in the 8Ks? No, he's going to be very owned. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't play him. It just means he's not going to be a pivot. Is Decky worth a look? Absolutely. Thoughts on Spieth? I can't believe people want to play Spieth. I mean, no, everybody hated him last week. He shows a little bit of a pulse, and now he's borderline chalky again. I don't get it. Here's my rule on Spieth. It's the same rule. It's much like my rule on Cantlay. If Spieth is high owned, I never play him. If Spieth is low owned, I always play him. It's the easiest game in the world. So last week I played him. This week I'm not. It's a simple game. Scott Fitz core. I dig that. And the great thing about having a core with those two guys is it allows you the freedom to go up and above them, right? A lot of people will say, my core is going to be Tony Finau and Jon Rahm. Okay, well, when you start your core like that, basically your whole lineup has already dictated what it's going to look like. So I don't love that. Thoughts on Reavie and his course history? I can't do it, Bob. I can't do it. I don't care. I don't care if God had a great course history at this course. I ain't playing him if he's Ches Reavie. Ches Reavie's God? All right. Okay to start in the 9K range and build from there? Absolutely, Mark. There's some good win equity with those guys in the 9Ks. Any good prize picks? If I had to pick, I would probably be going unders on totals tomorrow and overs on birdies. I think they really get after this course tomorrow with no wind, and I think this course is going to play easier like it did last year and not how it played from like 2012 to 2021. Okay. How much stock do you put into MC the previous week? Hardly any. Hardly any, sir. Hardly any. Oh, Jungle JD's here. Don't forget, we're doing the Sunday Tilt. Sunday Tilt with me and Jungle JD. Jungle JD. Be there. How did I forget to fucking promote this? We are going to watch it live because if you don't know, golf coverage sucks. So when it kicks on here at 2 o'clock, we are going to be doing it live. Me and him are going to be on a live stream. Come watch. Come sweat with us. Come tilt with us. Come have fun. Listen to us talk shit about golfers. Be there. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. It's going to be fun. It's the first week I'm doing it. If it goes well, I'll continue to have big guests. Yeah, John, you're a big guest to me, buddy. Thanks. All right. Digging for Telly is my 6K play. I'm in. I don't hate it. Best pick under 7K. His name is Siwoo Kim. What's for dinner? Okay, Anton, you're about to get punched in the throat, pal. Let's see. Sam Burns, Procreator. I mean, once again, I'm warm to him just because nobody wants to play him. Just cracked 60 lineups. Thank you, Solver. Man, I would be freaking out about making lineups tonight, Travis, if I didn't have the Solver. How people make more than 20 lineups per slate without the Solver, fucking kudos to those motherfathers. Sam Ryder or Nate Lashley? I guess all things being equal, Rick, I would take Sam Ryder, but if you're factoring in salary, I might actually like Nate Lashley a little bit more. Let's see. It's all good, dude. I'm just messing with you. Who gets the pull for Daytona? Dale Earnhardt. He was my favorite. I loved NASCAR growing up. I was a Dale Earnhardt guy, and then he died. Your thoughts on Moronk? Answered this earlier. Julian, we got to make a lineup together, dude. I liked him until I think it was somebody talked him up, and now I think he's going to get to 3 or 4% ownership. I liked him when he was a punt that nobody knew about. Lonto, I'm still a little worried. I'm still not sure he's there, and Lonto's not exactly the guy I think of when I think of this course. Who is the big fade this week? We already said it. It's dickhead Patrick Rogers. Who's your favorite sleeper this week? I'll just go Cesco Molinari. All right, guys, I think that is it. Jeff Gordon over Dale Earnhardt. How dare you, Rick? You're just trying to tilt me. It has been real. Don't forget to go like and sub. Don't forget to tell a friend. Don't forget to come check out my site, DGen75. Reach out to me on Twitter. I don't take myself too serious. I'm the man of the people. Thank you for being here and helping this channel grow. Thanks for being here for the live stream. We were not the #1 stream this week, but we have been 2 of the last 4 weeks. We just need that other guy to take some days off, and we'll be back to being #1. It's been real, you motherfathers. I will see you again Friday for the Showdown Hoedown and Saturday for the Showdown Hoedown Round 4. It's been real, fellas. I hope you've enjoyed this show, but most of all, I hope you enjoy this outro.